true crime with strategic eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? I know it's a late night one. Normally we don't do lives this late, but we do have breaking news coming out of southern Virginia, Pittsylvania County, Virginia, where multiple deputies were shot. I just saw this pop up on my feed, and I want to share this with you guys. Definitely explore it together. Let's play some of the news and kind of figure out what's going on.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. We have some breaking news to get to out of Southern Virginia. Take a look at some of this video. This is not live, but we are learning this is still a very active scene. This is coming to us out of, like I said, Southern Virginia, near Gretna, Virginia. Multiple law enforcement officers have been shot there in Southern Virginia. That's according to the member of Congress who represents this district in the U.S. House, John McGuire, the Republican, posting this on X earlier today, saying, "My thoughts and prayers are with the deputies who were shot in Pittsylvania County, as well as their families. We're closely following the situation and keeping everyone affected in our..."
So apparently what I'm getting, these deputies were executing a search warrant, and it is an ex-Marine who is currently still, as last I checked, there's no updated information on whether he has been taken into custody or, you know, lost his life in the process of it. But last I checked, this Marine has barricaded himself in his residence, or at the residence that he was at. These deputies were executing a search warrant. 4 deputies were shot. All are expected to live. That is the most up-to-date information. Let's keep going.
Hearts during this difficult time. Back out to some of this video here. Still, let's keep watching this. Take a look at this. So according to our colleagues, that is really all we know. According to Congressman McGuire, he represents Virginia's 5th congressional district. It includes Pittsylvania County. The county sits along the state's southern border with North Carolina. So where this is located, this is about 98 miles northwest of Raleigh, North Carolina. As you can see, photos and video from the scene showing a large number of police and emergency response vehicles parked in the area. But there's still a lot we don't know. Authorities have not released any additional information. The investigation is still unfolding. Now, the condition of the deputies who were shot remains unclear. How many officers were shot also remains unclear. We don't know those.
So at this time, we do have that information. The answer to that question is 4 shot deputies, all expected to live, but they were wounded. They were, in fact, wounded.
Breaking right off the top of the Fox 8 10 o'clock news, first responders from several law enforcement agencies have converged on a small community northeast of the Piedmont Triad where there are unconfirmed reports of some type of officer-involved shooting.
All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go to the press conference because a lot of these news sources are relatively old. I want to go ahead to the press conference and definitely get us up to speed.
In our general district court tomorrow morning would be the earliest he would appear in front of.
Wow, something's up with the sound.
Told what charges he's facing and please for. Of course, that process.
Wow.
In our general district court tomorrow morning.
The sound is horrendous.
In front of a judge to be told what charges he's facing and have an.
Let's see if we can get a better source.
Really, all I'm going to say tonight, guys. But thank y'all for being here. Thank you for your interest and prayers, please, for all the members of law enforcement involved in this case, and especially the ones who have been injured. Thank you.
All right, I'm Sergeant Rick Garlitz. Sheriff Taylor has asked us to conduct the investigation into this incident this evening. Of course, that process is just now getting underway. We're waiting on a search warrant to enter the residence and collect evidence and find out exactly.
I think
this afternoon, and my name is Mike Taylor. I'm the sheriff of Pittsylvania County. And this afternoon, a little before 5, we had 3 officers go to the residence of 611 Blue Jay Lane, Pittsburgh. And they were there on a warrant service and to serve a protective order. When the deputies and investigators approached the door, just soon after that, they were met with gunfire.
Right. So I just got to add this here. It's always domestic violence. The most dangerous calls that police can go on are domestic violence calls. It really breaks my heart because at the end of the day, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, these officers are going there to solve other people's problems, other people's personal problems. It becomes our problem because laws are being broken inside of that household, but you have strangers who are coming to solve other people's problems, and it always ends with the officers taking the brunt of that anger. And maybe we are the ones who should take it. We certainly don't want women and children getting hurt, but the most dangerous part of the job of being a police officer is responding to domestic violence. In this case, it had to be. They didn't say it was domestic violence, but that's 95% of the protective orders that are given out there are domestic violence related. And they went to that home to serve a protective order, and they were fired upon by a coward. Let's keep going.
The officers reported it, that they were under fire, that 2 had been struck. I'm happy to report that they were not struck by the bullets, but by shrapnel, it appears.
That's good.
One of the officers was transported to the emergency room just out of an abundance of caution. She's well, she's been released, and we have a gentleman by the name of James, and I'll spell his middle name and his last name, Andru, spelling A-N-D-R-U. Last name Lehnerd, L-E-H-N-E-R-D. Mr. Lehnerd was taken into custody.
Okay.
He's been transported to our jail awaiting charges. Our Commonwealth is here with us, who will explain those charges and the process to follow. Can I ask you?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian Haskins. I'm the Commonwealth Attorney of Pittsylvania County, and myself and members of my office have been assisting with this investigation. Mr. Lehnerd is in custody right now after surrendering. He's been taken to Chatham, where he's going to be charged. I'm not going to release a whole lot of information right now, and you deserve to know why. And the reason is Commonwealth attorneys are ministers of justice. And I want everybody to understand that Mr. Lehnerd is going to be facing some serious charges. We're still contemplating what all those charges will be. But he is presumed innocent, and will remain presumed innocent unless a judge or a jury finds him guilty of whatever we charge him with. So I know you have a lot of questions. We have a whole lot of answers, but we're not going to give them to you right now. And I would encourage all of you, if you have any interest in this case, to come to court and watch the process play out. It's unfair to a defendant for me to talk about facts in his case when he has no ability to defend himself in the media. So just remember that he is presumed innocent, and charges are coming, and he will likely be arraigned on charges in our General District Court tomorrow morning. Would be the earliest he would appear in front of a judge to be told what charges he's facing and have an opportunity to have a lawyer defend him. That's really all I'm going to say tonight, guys. But thank y'all for being here, and thank you for your interest. And prayers, please, for all the members of law enforcement involved in this case, and especially the ones who have been injured. Thank you.
All right, I'm Sergeant Rick Garlitz. Sheriff Taylor has asked us to conduct the investigation into this incident this evening. Of course, that process is just now getting underway. We're waiting on a search warrant to enter the residence and collect evidence and find out exactly what this gentleman was up to and what was going on at that particular time. So we don't have a whole lot of information to give you at this point because that process is just beginning right now. Our agents will be here probably most of the evening gathering all the evidence they can from the scene. They have interviewed or are interviewing the suspect now, and he is in custody. And like the sheriff and the Commonwealth attorney said, we're very happy that there were no further injuries tonight. This could have ended much worse than it did. I'm glad he gave himself up and came on out. So with that, we're going to open up for a few questions. Now, we're not going to talk about the investigation at this particular point other than, you know, what we've talked about so far. But we'd like to entertain some of the questions if you guys have any.
Sergeant, I'm not sure if this question is for you. I think this question might be for you, Sheriff. But the original warrants that they were serving, are you able to tell us what those were for?
Yes, one was for brandishing a firearm, and the second was trespassing. In addition to that, there was a protective order that had been issued, and that's one of the reasons we were there, to attempt to serve the protective order as well.
Can you tell me if your deputies followed what your normal policy would be, knowing that a potential suspect, I mean, a person might be armed, given the charge of brandishing a firearm, that there was a protective order?
I don't know if I heard all of that or not.
Yeah, I understand. The way that the warrant serving was conducted,
Sure.
with somebody that may have had a firearm given the charge of brandishing a firearm, and then also a protective order. The way that this was conducted and the way they approached the door, is this the way that it's supposed to happen?
Yes, well, we're not supposed to be shot, but yes, they did follow the process, and you have to be careful at all times, of course. And these are seasoned officers, and they were using their precautions just like we do countless times during the week. That's why it's so important that officers always have their safety. They watch out after each other. And while I'm answering, let me tell you this. We had a response from agencies all across this state. And it really helps us with resources. Virginia State Police, they were right on scene. We had federal agencies here that were represented. We were getting calls for support. So for a local agency, that is paramount when these things happen, and we really appreciate that. But I hope I answered your question on the policy.
You did. Why is VSP investigating this?
Well, anytime that, I'm not going to get into all of the facts of the case, of course, because we're still learning these things. We're still, the guys are still on the ground down there right now trying to piece this together. But anytime we have something that may be an officer-involved shooting or an officer that has been shot, we will call on our partners just out of transparency, because people may think we have a vested interest in that because our officers were involved.
So to clarify, did your law enforcement officers shoot at the individual?
They did not.
Oh.
They did not.
Sheriff, there were several neighbors I spoke with who said there was an incident at this same area last weekend with the same individual. Are you allowed to confirm any of that?
I cannot.
Are you able to tell us if the suspect, Mr. Lehnerd, is ex-military?
I don't know his background as of yet. We have people that's working on that right now to get behind his history, if he has a history, if he's from this area originally. So we have people that's working on that as we speak.
Are you able
You don't recall any history with them personally?
I won't get into it. I can't get into his history right now.
For clarification, was there a standoff with the gentleman?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
How long can you estimate?
Hours.
Are you able to tell us what guns he was firing or gun he was firing?
No, sir, I can't.
Was there anyone else in the house with him?
No, I think he was alone. Yes.
How many officers were involved in this, and what are the conditions of those officers, to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, good question. There was 3 officers that were injured. All 3 are well. Of course, they're shaken up. And they're going through the process now of trying to heal. Their wounds were some superficial, and but they're okay physically.
That's good.
Do you know anything about, I know you said you don't know specifically which weapon, but do you know about handgun, long gun?
I won't get into what kind of guns it was found. That's part of the investigation.
For the magnitude of response from the neighboring jurisdictions, was this due to what we've heard was possibly that the officers had some trouble retrieving from the area?
Well, I think when the call goes out, as any officer's been shot, and they need assistance, the hue and cry goes out, and we answer it. If it had been another jurisdiction, I would expect that our people to do the same.
Did you have to forcefully go into the house, or did he come out on his own?
I won't get into that.
The negotiation team, they came through to help with this situation. Can you talk about how effective they were in this standoff while he was barricaded in the home?
I won't get into what the conversation was, but it is, Rick just said, it was a peaceful outcome. Thank goodness. That's what we were all hoping for. That's what we're training for. And but it was a peaceful outcome. No one else was hurt or injured.
And so none of your folks actually had to enter the home to end this thing.
We won't get into that at this time.
Sheriff, can you just clarify one more time again? 3 injured. Did you say 2 were by shrapnel? They were not shot.
That appears to be shrapnel, yes.
Okay. And then, but all the 3 were injured. How was the 3rd injured? Same way?
Same type of method, yes.
No direct gunshot to any of your officers?
No.
How you holding up, Sheriff? Tough day, long day.
Yes, sir. But you know, and this is the last thing you want to hear come across the radio. I can tell you. And when I heard the mic key up, I knew that there was trouble on the other end. You just have that intuition if you've been in this business for a while. And our prayers are with the officers that they will be okay in the days to come, and they have to relive this. And we would ask for your prayers as well.
Did you have a hard time communicating with the officers when this was occurring? Was that again the prompt of the large response?
Yes, there was some issues in communications, as you could imagine, with the anxiety levels and the seriousness of the offense. There was a point in time that we were trying to contact them. Yes.
Just to clarify, is a response of this magnitude typical for a situation like this?
Yes. Yes. They are, and when these things happen, all of us are wearing the same uniform.
So what do you have to say to the folks that live around here? I know that these are completely unrelated, but just a few miles from here, there was a Franklin County basketball coach who was shot and killed, and this is another violent incident. These are completely separate, but they are close together, and the folks that live around here might be wondering what the heck is going on.
Yeah, this seems to be an isolated incident at this residence, so we can tell the community that it's safe, and but this is the time we live in. I mean, I expect each one of y'all have made numerous news accounts on incidents like this. We wish that was not so, but it's true. That's a true fact. And fortunately, no lives were lost this evening, and it came to a peaceful resolution.
Sheriff, in some of these situations, the negotiators will reach out to family members of a suspect. Was there any family
Some of these questions are just dumb, but let's keep going.
member or anyone helping to encourage him to come out of the house?
We won't get into the conversations, but efforts were being made.
Can you say if there's a system in place to notify neighbors of something like this happening? So
We do.
These are extremely irrelevant questions. I mean, I think they're out of questions, and they're just asking nonsense at this point.
We do. It's a reverse call to our neighbors. But this is a pretty rapidly evolving incident, and so it had a good resolve this evening. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord.
Assuming that the helicopter was on standby just in case?
Yes.
I'm assuming there's a helicopter on standby. Just what does that matter? What does it matter if they had a helicopter on standby? Like what?
Yes. And rescue personnel were here just in the case.
And those are volunteers.
Yes.
And they're volunteers, right?
And again, you were pleased and thankful for the support of so many partnering agencies. That's important.
Absolutely, it is. And the support that we find throughout these law enforcement partners that we have, I can't say enough good things about these guys.
Yeah, big shout out to the law enforcement.
Does this have any relation to the inmate that escaped from Danville Prison the other day?
No, sir. No, sir, none.
That it?
All right?
Yep.
Listen, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, big shout out to those officers who risked their lives going to serve that protected order, who we now know were injured with shrapnel. Listen, there's no lessening it. Like being injured and having to experience taking fire from somebody is a traumatizing experience. So we should all just be grateful, absolutely grateful that the most that happened is that they were injured with shrapnel and that they're going to make a full recovery.
Thank you, sir.
And thank y'all for being patient with us.
And
Thank you. And guys.
All right, so I want to go ahead and play what I believe is going to be some radio traffic. Let's listen. All right, so we thought we were going to hear some radio traffic on that, but no such luck. Trying to find you guys something else. Anyway, so that pretty much concludes the press conference. It looks like this guy is taken into custody without any further violence, and that the officers are going to actually make it. So we really appreciate you guys joining me on this impromptu live. I actually came on here to record some updates on the unfortunate discovery of this young boy out in Kentucky. But unfortunately, this tragedy happened, and I felt like it was important to talk about these officers who got wounded in the line of duty, serving their community. So we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow, and we'll give you guys some updates on a few cases. So I apologize for that. But, you know, this is breaking news, and these officers deserve our prayer, and this community deserves our prayer. And we're happy that this suspect has been taken into custody, and hopefully the criminal justice system will not fail us, and he will face the wrath of mankind. Guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.